Would you be mad if I told you that you've been quilting wrong this entire time? That those notions are garbage. Fabric is trash. And that sewing machine, go ahead and throw it out. Now before anyone gets all crazy here, take a deep breath and relax. I'm not here to shame anyone. All I want to do is talk about some of the bad habits that we've picked up along the way and trade those out for a smarter upgrade. In addition to that, all those little things can make such a big difference. So let's switch out those little bad habits for better ones, that way we can enjoy this craft even more. Let's get started. So guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about some notions and products and even your sewing machine, about the little bad habits that we might have picked up along the way, how we can switch them out for smarter upgrades, or maybe just some little tips and tricks to help us in our sewing experience. Something that we don't understand is that lots of times in the sewing industry, we power through getting through the project. I want from the start of your project to the finish of your project to be amazing all the way through. So let's just drop all of these bad habits. And if you relate to one of these bad habits, make sure you drop a comment down below, that way we know which one it is. Maybe you have a biggest pet peeve habit that people do too. Let us know down in the comment section as well. So we're gonna start off with one of the most fundamental notions in our industry, which it doesn't matter the brand, and everyone does this. So let's start off with a rotary cutter. And I'm going to use our So Yeah branded rotary cutter because I don't want anyone to feel like we're saying this brand or that brand is bad, get this brand. We're simply going to be using our products. That way it makes it easier to show during the video. So how many of us clean our rotary cutters? Let's be real here. How many of us actually clean it? If you look on mine, I've cut some minky, it's all grimy. You can see that it's a well-loved rotary cutter. It takes no more than like 30 seconds to clean out a rotary cutter. Now the reason why this is such a bad habit, guys, is that there's a little bit of oil that comes on your blades, which is supposed to lubricate both sides where it's connected to our rotary cutter to let it spin more freely. If it's dirty, the dirt soaks up the oil and then it will start to bind and not allow this to spin correctly. Now cleaning, guys, every rotary cutter is different, but you're just gonna take this and you're going to clean this out. You can use a rag, you can use a cloth, get all the grime out of there. If you have something to blow it off, absolutely works great. You gotta clean both sides of this, but you can see how much lint is around my rotary cutter blade there. That's not because I've been cutting so much on this particular blade. It's because my rotary cutter was dirty and I let it spin around in that dirt. So it's just a good visual for everyone to keep your rotary cutter clean, which will give you a better lifespan of your blade as well. Let's talk about one that we all do, okay? This is one that we all do, guys. The blades get dull and we continue to force it. Let me grab a piece of fabric so I can show you. But you can hear it, that it's not a clean cut. It's happened to everyone at home. I know it's happened to me lots of time. And what do? We take our rotary cutter, we get on our tippy toes, we push down harder to achieve a perfect cut. Let me tell you why that's a really bad habit. People will always go and start blaming the rotary cutter, which is like, well, I know the blade's bad, but I don't want to throw them out because they're a little bit expensive or anything like that. I get it. I understand, because I've replaced a lot of rotary cutter blades myself, but let me tell you what's happening. First, you're not getting a clean and accurate cut because of that skipped cut, right? Which is okay. We can go back through and cut it again. But let's look at the actual cutting mat itself. As soon as you're putting pressure on this blade, it's now going into the mat and curving, okay? It's now no longer a perfect up and down cut. And then we run that all the way up our mat, which in reality what's happening is we're actually cutting kind of a J shape out of our cutting mat over and over and over again. This is going to reduce the lifespan of that cutting mat, which, let's be real here, guys, you can buy 100 pack of blades for the price of one of these cutting mats. So we're not doing ourselves any favors by not switching out our rotary cutter blades when they are dull. It will save you so much time, so much hand fatigue, and additionally make your cuts that much straighter. Now the next item I want to talk about is your ruler. Now, I don't want anyone to feel like I'm knocking someone else's brand, but in this particular case, I have to use a different brand ruler to show you guys, which is your standard acrylic ruler. Now, don't look at the brand on this one. I'm simply saying all standard rulers have this problem, which is we lay it down on our project, put our hand on top of it, we go to cut. We all know how this goes. You go to cut, you put pressure down, and this whole thing is slippery and spins, okay? No matter how you try, it keeps moving on you. And let's be honest, if you're trying to get a 6x6 perfect square block, You can't have slippage. It ruins the whole experience, and then you're fighting it the whole time. The reason why I pull this one up isn't because it's a bad habit. It's just a lot of people don't know that non-slip rulers now exist, which is a ruler that has a coating on the back that when you put it down on top, I have one here, it essentially adheres, and I use that lightly, to the fabric as soon as pressure is added. And so that way you can maneuver and move things without it moving underneath the ruler. So for instance, this is a good comparison. I grab this and I twist, my ruler moves. You guys all see that? Same thing, this is actually a smaller square, and you can see how everything else is moving because that fabric and that ruler are locked together. This goes into that upgrade category. Knowing that products like this exist now can help out a ton. Go ahead and try them out, and if you want to upgrade into that, go for it. Next one is both bad habit and upgrade. So in front of me, I've got some thread. I've got 100% cotton thread. This is Aurifil. I've got some poly glide thread. I've got some isocord as well here. 3 very, very distinct and different kinds of threads. Threads are used for very specific reasons. 100% cotton, generally used on anything cotton, like what we do in our craft. This glide thread has become like Long Armor's choice for many, many brands. This right here is a 40 weight polyester with a semi-sheen to it, designed for embroidery. Thread is designed for certain things. Now, the reason why I bring that up is a lot of times we intermingle these things, which is totally okay to do, but you get what you pay for most of the time. If you're buying thread from the 99-cent store and you're having issues with the breaking, so much lint, you just can't work with the thread, again, you get what you pay for. I'm not saying that you need to invest in any of these brands. I'm simply saying make sure you're buying a high quality thread because it will make your sewing experience that much better. Less thread breaks, less problems, less tangles, less nests, which is some of the, in my opinion, most frustrating points of quilting. Just a little tip or a trick here. It doesn't take more than a couple of Google searches to understand what thread goes with what item. For instance, right here on my machine, just because I was last week sewing some polyester bags, I got some polyester isocord here that's 40 weight, so it's a little bit thicker. So that way I could sew up a couple little ditty bags here. I understand how the properties of thread to my project work, which makes this even easier as you're sewing along. Now, maybe you want to sew this bag with cotton. 100% can do that as well. Knowing the properties of your thread is also a huge way to make your finished work of your project that much better just by knowing a little bit about it. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is our fabric. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that lots of people are price conscious. I've seen lots of people though value price over value quality, and then they're upset with the result. Now, what I mean by that, this whole stack here, beautiful brand new collection from Riley Blake. Now, if you know the brands of quilting, you will know that generally if you stay within the brands, you're all set. Meaning, if you love Moda, stay with Moda. If you love Riley Blake, stay with Riley Blake. Andover, Michael Miller, Wilmington, Wyndham, there's a ton of them out there, right? If the brand's good, the rest of the fabric that goes along with it is generally speaking good brand. If you're picking up bolts and you don't recognize the brands and you take it up to the front and you're like, do you guys know anything about this? And like, we don't know much about that. Kind of a red flag. Also look at the price point. If it says that it's $2.99 a yard and it's not on sale, again, look at the price points. You want to make sure that you're getting high quality products because that helps your sewing experience. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and buy $25 a yard fabric. I'm saying that understand the quality of your fabric and how that is going to relate to your quilt project. If the deal is super good, buy it, but make sure you understand what brand that you're buying or what it is that you're buying at that same time. Additionally with fabric, a little bit of a pro tip here. In front of me, I have a 100% quilting cotton Riley Blake, which is a 60 square good. That means there's 60 threads going this direction and 60 threads going this direction, interlocking to make the weave known as 60 square. Super cool. It makes quilts just like the one you see behind me. They're beautiful. We screen print on them or we digitally print on them, and they make the fabric that everyone knows today. There are also other brands, other kinds of fabrics out there. For instance, this is 100% batik is what everyone says. A batik is actually 100% cotton, and the weave on this is normally double or even a little bit more than double, meaning that this is like 120 to 140 square. For screen printing, you don't need this kind of weave so that the dye can penetrate the actual fibers. as opposed to in batiking, you have to have a different substrate for that dye to react well with it. Also, all batiks that I know of are dried outside, meaning that this is going to go see the weather. They actually lay them out in giant fields, they dye the material there and let them dry out there in the field. So knowing these difference of qualities can help a lot of times. Knowing the properties, knowing a little bit more about the industry will always help you to make sure your project's even that much better. So guys, the next one is a notion that we all use, all love, but we don't give it the time of day that it needs. I have 4 pairs of scissors here. All different brands, I'm not knocking any of them. A pair of scissors is a tool that we all use, we all love, but when they start having issues, we muscle and force our ways through these. This right here is a pair of Kai, and as you can see, just got a beautiful cut, and it's all the way down to that very tippy edge. This right here is a pair of Gingers, okay? This pair of Gingers is, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old, and you can see that I've got something here keeping it from cutting. Also, this pair of scissors has been dropped a million times. I'm not knocking on Ginger by any means, but it's still razor sharp. I've actually got a nick in it that's not allowing it to crunch all the way down like it should. We force our way through that nick lots of times and we shouldn't. Next one is we got this little pair of scissors here, and this one is actually probably only like 2 or 3 days old. It's brand new, you can feel it, it glides perfectly. We all know what a very fresh pair of scissors feel like, right? And then I've got this pair here, which is probably one of my older sets here. Cheaper model, but still a good pair of scissors. And you can see it cuts beautifully, and then when I get to the tip, it just folds over the fabric, right? We've all been here, guys, right? And then we're doing like these half cuts, and then we're getting aggravated that it doesn't cut like it should. Does it still get the job done? Yes, but there's no need to force ourselves through these. Get them sharpened. There's lots of places out there that sharpen scissors. Get them sharpened, but like a little pair like this, most of the time you can't get these sharpened. And so you just have to know that as soon as they start giving up, that's gonna be the end of its lifespan. I wanna show everyone this with every pair of scissors that you own that has some form of screw and washer system. You see all these? Everyone does this. I'm gonna show everyone it. You cut, and then you take the pair, and instead of setting it down, we let it drop about a 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch. We go like this. We cut, and then we drop it down, right? It's only falling maybe this far, but it's enough to rattle this center screw. Now over time, that center joint becomes loose, that screw becomes loose, and it is so hard to get that tight enough like it was in the manufacturer, and it was totally preventable. Most of the time here at So Yeah, if you pick up a pair of scissors of ours, you hear the wobbliness in it, that center screw has loosened up. Obviously, this is still a very, very good pair of scissors. It doesn't bother it that much. But if we keep letting that happen, eventually that screw will loosen up, and then you'll need to take it in to get sharpened and for that screw to be tightened on there real nice and tight. Let's just drop the bad habit and stop dropping these even that little bit, and then we'll have much better experience with our scissors. Last one here for today's video, and guys, if you like videos like this, let us know down in the comment section. And also, if you want a part 2 of this video, let us know down there as well. Last one here is the sewing machine. Now, I believe a lot of people go about getting sewing machines the wrong way. The sewing machine will make the quilter, okay? Which is absolutely wrong. I know amazing quilters out there who sew on the old Singer Featherweight, which is like 100 years old now. This is one of my key pain points and habits that people do. So they come into the quilt store and they talk about all the things that a sewing machine needs to have so that they can continue in the craft. I'm looking for a top-of-the-line sewing machine. It's gotta have thread cutting, it's gotta have embroidery, it's gotta have needle up and down, the hub feature. I always pause people and say, well, how much embroidery do you do? We don't need to listen to the outside world for us to make ourselves a really good decision. When you're picking out your sewing machine, pick out what you do and what you like to do. If you love doing bags, go to people who do bags and ask them the questions first. Same thing with paper piecing, same thing with applique, same thing with all those things. Find those features that really, really matter to you. For instance, I wanted a machine that gives me no fuss. I don't need all the other bells and whistles, because what we do here on YouTube, generally speaking, is a straight stitch. I settled on this machine here, and this isn't a sales pitch for this machine by any means. But it's a forwards backwards machine. There's no zigzag, there's no computer, there's no nothing like that. I can adjust my stitch length, which I do quite frequently, depending if I'm doing, you know, machine paper piecing or I'm doing a bag. I'm going to be adjusting my stitch length there. And I love that it has the scissor button. Okay, that's what I need because I'm in a setting like this where I need no fuss. I need not to have any issues. That's what I need. Maybe for you, you have to, without a doubt, have to have a knee lift, or you might have to have this one feature. Let's zero in on that feature and then come into the quilt store as opposed to asking the whole world. Now lastly, one of my biggest pet peeves ever, guys, and again, this is just one of those little habits that we all do and we shouldn't, is that we don't change our needles regularly enough on our sewing machines. If your sewing machine is having an issue, it's generally speaking one of three things. If everyone did this, if everyone on the planet did this, the amount of machine repairs or you taking it into your local dealer would probably decrease significantly. After you finish a quilt top, like something like this, change out your needle, guys. You're supposed to be changing your needles after every 8 hours of sewing, which generally speaking, guys, is about a quilt top. So change out those needles. They're cheap to do, it's cheap to change them, and it will help you so much with that frustration of getting bird's nests and all those kinds of things that can happen with sewing machines. Second thing, if your machine's not acting right, stop. Cut your thread, pull out your thread, look at everything, and put it back in. Most machine problems is that it's late at night or we're in a rush and we don't thread our machines correctly. And number three, check your bobbin. Lots of times in the same vein with our thread, lots of times we are moving quickly and it seems so routine to us that we just feel like we know how to do it, and oops, we throw that bobbin in backwards, or oops, we didn't get it in the right tension spot for our bobbin area. And sure enough, the machine starts acting up and we're frustrated. And guys, there's no place for frustration in this industry because it's a hobby, it's a craft, and it's something that we're doing to enjoy ourselves. So guys, in closing of the video, the whole premise of this video is let's stop muscling through things. The sewing machine, the thread, all of those things are these little teeny habits that we picked up doing of just, this will work, this will make sense, oh yeah, I can just do this real quick. And then it becomes into a task that becomes frustrating, and there's no place for that in our industry because this is a hobby. It's designed to be fun. It's something that we've elected to do, each and every one of us. So now guys, it's time to audit ourselves here. If any of these bad habits apply to you, decide whether or not you're okay with it or if it's time to change. It is okay to say this tool is now going to be upgraded to a better and higher quality tool. It's totally okay to do. So let's all reflect and do a little self-audit on ourselves and see how we can all improve in this amazing craft. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we love to hear from you. Make sure you drop a comment in the comment section. Also, while you're there, make sure you're checking out SewYaQuilting.com, where we have all the products that you've seen here. In addition to that, fabrics, notions, and some of the hottest, latest, greatest products as well. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.